Mr. Matt Dinniman and Felicia Day.
We were debating which one of us should just wear those shorts and then give away at the end. I was like, I don't know, whose juices would be creepier.
So whoever got it, you're the creepy one.
I both wore them at the same time.
So big we've done that.
They are, they're XL. Which I was saying that Carl that would be an XL, right?
Yeah, oh, definitely. He's
Yeah.
like 6'3". So.
He's a beefy boy. 6'3", yeah. I think you had a couple things you wanted to talk to the audience
Yeah,
about.
so, well, thank you everyone for coming. I appreciate it.
I didn't have my glasses on. I can't even see you, man.
We don't even know if anyone's really here. So I do like to ask a couple questions before we get started. Just raise your hand if you have not read any Dungeon Crawler Carl stuff. Is there anybody here?
What?
So there are a couple people here.
There's a guy right in the middle of the front with a camera. It looks like he's gonna jump on stage and confront you about something. I'm not kidding. He's here to serve you, Matt.
I'll read the first time. Okay. So security marked your location. Second question: who here has not read book 7?
Ooh, okay.
So there's actually quite a few people. So when we talk tonight, we're going to try to keep spoilers to a minimum. I mean, it's going to be impossible not to spoil some stuff, but let's try to keep questions or comments about book 7 specifically down to a minimum. Also, next question is, who here has listened to the audiobook version?
Yeah.
Wow, and this is a bookstore event. So, I always like to point that out because it's true. The audiobook version is very, very popular.
It's very popular, very well done.
Yes.
But you know, those big beefy books, I mean, you go out with that book, especially 7, that's a chunkful.
It is a chunk.
Big, and I don't know how you wrote that much and it all goes together. Congratulations!
Sort of. You know, when you, I almost said a spoiler about a giant penis, but
Listen, we were talking about Samantha and possible toy options for her.
the Playmates Toys people are here, so scream if you want.
I just want to make sure Donut can fit on Carl's shoulder. Like, fit on him somehow, you know, they go together, like with a magnet or something. That's my request. And Samantha's sex toy doll, who is a robot that can vacuum.
Keeps talking about the vacuum option.
No, it's not.
Listen, I have a lot of cat hair and I want a sex doll roaming around my house. I don't know what your problem is. Yeah, okay. Well, thank you everybody for coming. I don't know how thrilled, I'm just thrilled to be here because I'll put my hipster Dungeon Crawler Carl credentials on the floor. I've been reading this series since early 2022. So I feel like I'm an old school lady and I've been wearing that donut shirt. And many times on the Lit RPG Facebook things, people are like, Felicia Day likes Dungeon Crawler Carl, and then somebody will be like, meh. As a person on the internet, I'm used to it. But your brilliance is just amazing, and to be able to talk to you on stage today, it's really exciting for me.
I am so happy to be here, and thank you so much for doing this.
Yeah, no worries. So let's start. When somebody asks you what you write and you say Lit RPG, do they look like you just took a shit on the floor? Because when I try to tell people how awesome it is, people are very confused. It's like a video game. How do you do that, and how do people react?
Well, sometimes saying I write Lit RPG is the equivalent of taking a shit.
Okay.
So, I mean, don't quote that.
That's somebody else's opinion, not his opinion, by the way, okay?
Well, no, that was also a joke. No, seriously, I've gotten to the point now where I don't really explain what Lit RPG is. It's easier to get them to actually try it out and read it. I have my elevator pitch down. It's a sci-fi fantasy novel about a guy and his ex-girlfriend's cat stuck on an alien game show. And
You cut the gaming out? That doesn't seem right.
but what happens is, it's a hard sell if people aren't gamers, and it's gotten to the point where if they like lit RPG, most people in this space have already heard about it. So we're getting it's way better than it was just 2, 3, 4 years ago. When I said I write lit RPG, and they're like, well, what's lit RPG? Is it a choose your own adventure? Is it a game? You know, and you have to explain, well, it's a story where I'm explaining to this guy that's filming. It's a story where the world is oftentimes controlled by game-like elements, and then I have to go into a whole example and stuff like that. So
they start just drifting off, yeah.
Right, and then if you go into like some of the lit RPG forums, you say, well, what is lit RPG? And then they start fighting. Like they can't agree on what it actually is.
Yeah, so basically you're just telling stories you love, which is very clear. Can you tell me how you came up with, like, did you set out to write a lit RPG? Were you already a reader of the genre? Or is this just like, I want to write this character and this is just the best way to do it? How did you start off, Carl?
So with Carl specifically, I had already written a few lit RPGs. I had written a book, a series called Dominion of Blades. Thank you. Which, by the way, I will finish. And I had written a book called Kaiju Battlefield Surgeon, which is
it's very good.
Which is a horror lit RPG. So I was already in the lit RPG space, and I was a fan. I started. It was right around 2015. My whole life, I read everything I can. And one day I was on Hoopla, the library app, and
we got a lot of hoots today. I love you guys. Keep that hoot going.
And I downloaded like one of the Russian lit RPGs, Vasily Machenko's, one of his, with The Way of the Shaman, the book was called. And it's a Russian lit RPG. It's translated, not that great.
No, it's not. I couldn't get through it. I know it's supposed to be really good, but the translation is
it's a little rough. I mean,
a little rough.
But it's when you read a lit RPG for the first time and it's something that you know that you're gonna like, there's this like wow factor, and it doesn't matter what book it is, because you read it and you say to yourself, wow, you can do this in a book? This is so cool. And I finally understand like the kids who sit there and watch Twitch all day. It's the same sort of thing. You're getting this dopamine rush of playing a video game, but at the same time you're also reading a story. And a lot of times these stories are amazing. And I started thinking to myself, well, this is great. I can write a book like this. And then I started writing Dominion of Blades. And at the time, when I was writing it, I did not know it had already become a whole thing. I did not know the term lit RPG. It wasn't until I was almost done with the first draft of Dominion of Blades that I went online and said, okay, how the hell am I going to sell this? How do I call it? What do I call it? And I found a lit RPG group on Facebook, and I found all the US-based authors or English language authors that were writing lit RPG. Like Alron Kong wrote a book called The Land, and it was, at the time, it was just like blowing up. And I joined the community, and then I found so many amazing books that way, and I became a fan, I became a member of the community, just like everyone else. And then I presented my book to the world, and that's how I got involved. And by the time it was ready for me to write Carl, I was taking a space from writing Dominion of Blades 3, because I knew it was going to be a very complicated book, because it's a heist.
That's the one you haven't written yet?
Yes.
So you basically, Carl was basically just writer's block / delay / procrastination?
Absolutely.
Oh, great, okay.
I said, I'm going to write a quick, simple story about a guy and a cat in a dungeon. And as soon as I get this out of my system, I'll go back to Dominion of Blades, because people keep asking me for it. And
that guy over there.
Yeah. And I still haven't gotten back to it, but I will.
He will. Okay? So you told me something really infuriating in the green room, because I am like a person who is too afraid to write without an outline. And you told me you never outline at all, you just write it. And can you tell me a little bit about that? Because I want to punch you, but I want to learn from you too.
It would be so amazing if you punched me on stage.
I'll do it.
But I am what's...
Do it! You guys didn't pay enough for that. Go out and pay $100 $100 each. I'll punch the shit out of him.
I'll pay even more. I am what's called a pantser. That means I make it up as I go along. There's no right or wrong way to do this because every writer has a different brain. But if I know where I'm going, I'm not going to finish the book because I'm in it for the journey and I enjoy that. I strongly feel, for me personally, if I outline a book, I will be in one state of mind while I outline it. It'll take a couple days to outline the book, and my state of mind during those couple days is a moment frozen in time. And I'm not writing myself in the corners. I'm not spending days and days and days trying to get out of the situation. Like, how do I get Carl and Donut out of this crazy situation I forced myself into? And that's the joy of being a pantser. But it's also a very inefficient way to write. I write scenes over and over and over again, and I don't recommend that to anybody, even fellow pantsers. And that makes it, sometimes the process for me is a little bit longer than I would like, but like all the trash.
You're still pooping out books real fast.
Yeah.
Don't worry about your pace. You're good.
Like the people at like Penguin Random House are like, oh, you're writing so fast. But a lot of the fans in the LRPG space, they're like, you only wrote one book this year?
Yeah, they do. Yeah, no, I know. They're like, oh, you should be like Seth Ring, like 45 a year,
Seth Ring writes like 200
Good guy. He's really good too, but not as good as you.
I'm gonna get that on my next book.
Seth Ring is good, but not as good as Matt. Felicia Day. Great.
We were talking backstage about, writing bad reviews of books, and we don't.
We were ready. You put some bad reviews on some books in the past, right?
Yeah.
So put that on. Shove it anywhere you want. It's great. All right, so you pantsed your way through. I don't know how you do that because, especially book 7, no spoilers, but there's a cast of thousands in this, and there are so many subplots and characters you drop, and so you really don't know where Samantha's going? You just don't know where she's rolling?
A lot of times I don't. The truth is, sometimes when I start a plot, I have an idea of how it's going to end, but usually it's not exactly what I originally planned. And every time Carl picks something up and puts it in his toolbox, I keep very, very, very careful track of everything that's behind me.
Oh, okay. So
I know.
Do you have a spreadsheet, or how do you track everything?
I do. There's two different things. There's a Notion database that a third party made for me that's actually longer than the books themselves. Her name's Vicky, and she did an amazing job putting it together.
Yay, Vicky.
But
preventing all of you from writing, well, he didn't use this thing right, well.
And then I also have my own personal Excel sheet, which is, as of this date, 208 pages long. And it is so long I have a second Excel sheet that keeps track of the first one. And if I lose it, I'm just killing it.
Well, I will admit, I've read a couple series where I feel like around book 8 or 9, and you're maybe due, they just literally get their either body wiped and put in another dimension, and they just start over. I'm like, you know what? Good for you. Okay, good for you. I'm okay with that. Let's see another level. Let's do it.
In Game of Thrones, that's why that temple blew up.
Exactly. Just get over it.
Swept them right off the game board.
But did you know, do you have an ending in mind? Do you have a number of books that you want to hit, or are you just going forever?
No. Forever! It's not going to be forever.
Spin-off.
I know my brain, so I make it very, very clear whenever I write a book that the end game is telegraphed in the very, very beginning, very early in the first book. For Carl, for example, we know it's an 18th floor dungeon, so there's only so far I can get. I do believe it's going to be 10 books. I can see where it's going. I can see the arrow on its downward trajectory. And I know that this next book that I'm working on, book 8, is probably we're going to see 2 floors. And then in book 9, we're going to see 1 floor. And then we're going to see the rest in book 10.
What? You just dropped something that's going to blow the internet's mind. People are furiously, well, that guy isn't, but this guy just right up our nostrils. I'm glad that you're gonna put that on the internet. Okay, so you have an end game. Does it feel like you feel a lot of pressure that you are sort of like now in a sandwich? You got to pay it all off, or?
I do now, but it is a lot. Honestly, it is a lot of pressure because when I first started writing the first book, nobody had read it. When we started writing the second book, no one had read it, honestly, because had just barely started putting it on Royal Road. I was almost done with the first book when I started putting it on.
Oh wow! Okay.
I wrote the first book very, very fast, and it wasn't until book 4 was done then I started getting actual feedback from fans as opposed to just people on my Patreon. By the way, if you're on my Patreon, raise your hand.
Oh yeah, raise your hand if you Patreon. That's amazing, you guys.
Thank you so very much.
Thanks for supporting independent artists.
Yes,
it's gonna keep. We need it for unnamed reasons in this world right now.
The people on my Patreon, by the way, they're the ones that vote on fan boxes and stuff like that.
Yeah, tell me, do they get previews? What's the deal with the Patreon? I feel like they're in the in club or something.
So the people on my Patreon, they get to vote on things that happen in the book. They'll never vote on anything that Curl does or Donut does, because that's me. But they're the bad guys. They're the fans watching the book from the outside.
That's amazing.
But they also get the book as I write it. So right now, I just posted up through chapter, I think, 20 in book 8. And it's actually going to be more chapters than that because I split them up even further when the book is ready. But that's what they pay for. They get to see the book.
They see the sausage made. So do they get angry if it's like edited later and it's a little bit different, or is it kind of exciting to see the process?
I mean, I tell them, I retcon stuff all the time. I say, remember back in chapter 3 when I killed Donut by accident? Let's keep her alive for this next chapter. No, it's usually not that big, but I do retcon stuff quite a bit, and they know this. I tell it ahead of time. But before the book comes out, I always give them the polished, finished version, so
yeah, it's amazing.
They get a copy of the book before it comes out, and it's worked out great for me. So.
Yeah, it's pretty cool to have that sort of feedback to keep you grounded. Now, for This Inevitable Ruin, is that the longest one?
That book was 270,000 words. The version that the people on Patreon read was 330,000.
Wow.
That's a pretty long book. The average book that comes out in the United States is something like 65.
Yeah, that's the minimum you gotta write for a book. That's
yeah.
like 5 books, man. You could have split that in, so you could have split it up. So
I don't want to split a 4, so it's, yeah.
Good for you. Did you do any special research? So I noticed, I'm sure it's not exactly unobvious, but every floor kind of has a different gaming style that you do. Like you got Capture the Flag, you got cards, which I love the card stuff, and then now you've got like sieging. Like, do you deliberately, is that kind of like the big scaffolding that you approach a new book with?
It does. It's my favorite part about the Carl series is that I can basically write a completely different book every single time.
Mm-hmm.
And I've been a gamer my whole life. I've been video games and tabletops, and I've been immersed in nerd culture because I'm a big nerd. And it's pretty cool to be able to play different games each time. So book 8 is basically the Hanna-Barbera Wacky Races mixed with Mario Kart.
Wow.
And it's
Is there going to be just one where they're like Stardew Valley? Because I love those games. Can they just be like, I just need a golden turnip? And just be what? I need her to love me. God, I have to romance this lady. And not take my turnip.
That's going to be book 9.
Oh my God.
A little more violent, I think, but yeah.
I think I'm gonna join the Patreon. That's so exciting. Can you tell me, like, what influence? Do you read a lot of other lit RPG? Do you have any other favorites that you want to throw out?
Yeah, so I read a lot. My actual influences are all over the place.
Yeah, tell me, because I read somewhere that your favorite book is the same as my favorite book.
Okay, is it Tigana?
It's Tigana by
Guy Gardner.
Okay,
yeah.
my favorite book.
True story, my editor at Ace, her name's Jess, I was so happy because she's Guy's editor as well. And his writing style is not even remotely on the same
So romantic and
platform as mine. It's like,
yeah.
He's like a 5-star restaurant and I'm like a Wiener Schnitzel.
Oh.
But,
It's true.
I mean, now that's going on the cover. he's such an amazing writer. He's the person that made me fall in love with the art of the poetry that one can make with just the written word. And I have so many other influences like Robert R. McCammon, the horror author, who wrote so many books that I grew up with in the 80s and early 90s that made me want to become a storyteller. And as far as Lit RPG is concerned, so many great authors. We were just talking about Erin Ampersand.
Love her.
Apocalypse Parenting.
If you haven't read that one, it's really good. Seth Ring, I love the Farmer series.
Yeah,
Sorry.
Battle Mage Farmer, and
It's like Cracker Barrel meets an RPG. It is. It's just very good. It's a good one. Yeah, I mean, I don't know what to say. It almost feels like an amuse-bouche when you go read like a significant book.
Yeah.
And then you're like, oh, I'm gonna go read 8 in a series that I just picked up that are probably not even good. Maybe, but they're good for me, so I don't care what you think, right?
but a lot of us, we're not trying to be like highbrow literature.
What's good anyway?
There's
It's
people over
fine.
here, and I'm not even like looking at you guys.
It's fine. They don't deserve you. Tell me about, okay, so this inevitable, is there anything that was particularly challenging in writing this Inevitable Ruin, since it is 5,000 words or 5,000 pages long?
Yeah.
Do you get lost in that? How do you
It is.
your way
It's
through, man?
extremely challenging to write a book with so many different things happening at once, especially when you are in first-person perspective.
Yeah.
Because it's I. You know, everything we see is from Carl's point of view, and there's lots of things that are happening that Carl isn't directly involved in, and as a result of that, it becomes really difficult to spin all those plates at once and to make it make sense and make it compelling. And I had known going in that this was going to be the most challenging book I ever wrote, and it was the most challenging book I ever wrote because of that. Because it was such, the Ninth Floor Faction Wars, which is what that book is been so built up throughout the series. We started hearing about it very, very early that there was a lot of pressure. Like we were talking about pressure before. Writing this book was the first time I had this many eyes on me. I mean, we definitely had people like you who'd read it before, but
The best people?
but there's so many more and more and more, and then with the good comes the bad. You have people messaging me saying, you better not mess this up, or you know.
It's so horrible. It's horrible. I hope George R. R. Martin never finishes. Just sorry, just to spite him.
She's dropping quotable quotes all night.
Yeah, exactly. Here it is. It's just a quote of you guys being a-holes. Here's my book. It's this big. So mean tonight. I don't know why. I'm sorry. It feels like the gods have gotten more and more and more involved in the plot of Carl. I mean, you pantsed your way to a big pantheon.
Yes.
The pantheon. I'm sorry, but you've gotten there. Do you plan out all your? No, you don't. You just.
No, I like to pull gods from things I've read. I like to read a lot about history of mythology in different cultures, and I find ones that I can properly appropriate. And then, that's a joke. Like Barl, there's like a cool god that is the goddess of, you know, childbirth pain, like specifically, and I think that's really cool. I'd like to tell a story with that specific.
She's the one who held Hercules, and I was like, nope, you're not coming out. My mom told me not to let you out.
That sort of stuff is neat. So every time I bring up a god, like that 208-page Excel sheet on page like 42, I think it is, has all the gods on there, and I keep track of where they're from and what their power is, and now I keep track of who their attendant is, and then that's book 7 was the most difficult thing I ever had to write. Book 8 is fun and easy. Book 9 is going to be way harder because it's the Stardew Valley book where it's Stardew Valley with gods all trying to murder each other and be polite at the same time, and with the chaos that Carl and whoever else is still alive brings.
I literally cannot wait. There was I read Primal Hunter too, which is a great series, you guys, and there was one section in that, the last one, that had no fighting. They just had to like talk their way through it, and seeing, you know, it's kind of fun in a little RPG world to be like, how do I deal without killing other people? It's actually kind of fun, you know?
Yeah, a lot of us authors, especially those of us who've been doing it a long time, like Pirate Abba, who writes The Wandering Inn, and Zogarth, who does Primal Hunter, we have to come up with new ways to keep it entertaining. Otherwise, it's just the same thing over and over and over again.
Yeah.
And some of these authors that have long-running series, you know, it's a real challenge. It's one of the reasons why I don't want to make it more than 10 books.
Yeah.
I don't want to repeat myself.
I'm going to open this up to questions in about 5 minutes. So hopefully you're paying attention to things you want to ask. But can you tell us about the other things that are going on in your Dungeon Crawler Crawl universe? I mean, there's not just books now. You're a franchise.
We have all sorts of cool stuff going on right now. There's a webtoon that's out right now. Who here's lots?
Which is really cool. That art is fantastic. How did you find that artist?
So we sold the rights to Athon Books, who actually purchased the artist studio, Laurel Pursuit, who does it, and Tev, who's the lead writer on the webtoon, is an amazing art director, and they put this whole story together, and it looks exactly like how I expected to look in the webtoon style. You know, a lot of people who see it for the first time, they see things like, well, Carl looks too young. But I say he looks like he's 40 in webtoon years, if you've ever watched it. But they've done an amazing job of like capturing the emotion and the feel and the vibe of Dungeon Crawler Crawl. If you haven't checked it out, it's on Webtoons, and it's free. It drops every single week. You can pay to get like advanced chapters, but you don't have to. And they're going to do the whole first book and see how people react to it. And the most recent scene is them meeting Rory the Goblin Shamanka for the first time.
Oh yeah.
But there's that. We have the Florin graphic novel coming out. We just announced that, and that's going to be released on Backer Kit. And I'm very excited about that because the art on that's amazing. The artist is named Brett Bean, and that's coming together very nicely. We also, if you back the first Kickstarter, we have the second Kickstarter going to be dropping on October 15th.
I'm excited. You're so amazing. Like, I just have to tell you, I just really admire, like, I'm a girl, like, with the guild, when we first started, I had a PayPal button because there was no Kickstarter, like, literally no Kickstarter. And it's just so amazing to see artists every single way that they can own their worlds and, like, control their worlds and have a say in their worlds. Can you talk a little bit about that and why that is important to you?
It is important to me. When we sold the rights to Dungeon Crawler Crawl to be in physical copies, the book that you all got tonight, and Ace Books at Penguin Random House is amazing, and I love them, but we kept the ebook rights. I am still an indie author, I consider myself. They don't touch it editorially for Dungeon Crawler Crawl. I write it, it's out. And I have the ebook rights. Me and my friend Jeff have the audio book rights. Audible Studios distributes it, but again, it's the same sort of thing. It's whatever I write is what's in the audiobook. Whatever Jeff records is what's in the audiobook. And that's super important to me because it's really difficult as an indie to be able to like get your voice heard no matter what that voice is.
Yeah.
Because I can't even imagine trying to sell, a book with a talking sex doll head.
No one wanted it.
No, they. I mean, honestly, it wasn't until it started because of you guys that they started to want it in bookstores.
Well, that's the wonderful thing. It's like the fans can now show bigger industry what people want. Because they don't really know what people want most of the time.
No,
you know what I'm saying? I mean, I hate to say it, but I mean, I think in books there's a little bit more leeway. There seems to be a lot more experimentation, but especially, in other like TV format and movie format. And I think you also have you're developing it for a TV show, right? Can you talk a little bit about that?
That is true. There's not much I'm allowed to say. NBC Universal has the rights. Fuzzy Door, Seth MacFarlane's company, is developing it into a television series. And we're still actively working on it. Hopefully we out soon, but everything that I can really say is already public. So,
Yeah.
but
I want to play donut, okay? Great, it's done. Or Samantha.
we'll talk about that later.
Yeah, great. What are you working on right? Okay, well, I'm going to open this up to questions. I have no idea how you're getting this question up here. I'm sure there's a microphone somewhere, but I actually am unprofessional. Oh, you're just going to stand and scream. Okay,
Oh, yeah.
1 second. I'm going to ask him one last question, and then I'll talk to you right there. What are you working on right now? And then what do you want to tell anybody?
Yeah, so, I mean, you're all here because This Inevitable Ruin's out tomorrow. You guys got a secret, you got it early, which is awesome.
Yay.
On February 10th, I have a standalone novel called Operation Bounce House coming out. It's a sci-fi novel about settlers on a distant planet who are being evicted by Earth, and the company that does it, they gamify the eviction process, and they allow bored people on Earth, who are the bad guys, to design their own war machines and remotely pilot that from home. And I watched a bunch of Counter-Strike and Call of Duty videos. little shits, 12-year-old kids insulting your mother. That's the vibe of Operation Bounce House. So that's February 10th. You can pre-order it now. Again, I have the Kickstarter coming out, the graphic novel, but writing-wise, I am 24/7 Dungeon Crawler Crawl Book 8.
Yes! And if not, wait until it comes out in Chopples. There's a person right there, that guy, I promised him. Let's do some questions, you guys. Hi.
Hey Jeff, hey Felicia.
What's up?
Well, my question is, where and how did you learn to write?
Did you call me Jeff?
Oh, sorry.
Oh, he did.
That Jeff is in the TV series. Like, we want him to be the voice for the characters. Because if they're going to CGI Donut anyways, it might as well be Jeff, right?
Well, I was gonna ask for him to be there, but not enough people are calling me Jeff. What is your name?
Oh, I'm so awkward. Oh, God.
Hey Mario, who's your favorite character in Dungeon Crawler?
That's Jerry.
Gary?
Yeah.
Oh, I already tortured Gary.
Yeah.
Especially if you read the backstage at the Pineapple Cabaret.
Ooh, so aren't there special extras in the hardcover?
In the hardcovers, there's a short story in the back of each one. It's an ongoing novella. It's called Backstage at the Pineapple Cabaret. A lot of people don't know that. That's the bonus material. You have to read them all in order. So if you only have book 7, then you have to go out there and buy the rest. But how did I learn to write? As I've been a writer my whole life. When I was a kid, and this is true, I used to write Transformer and G.I. Joe fan fiction.
No way!
Now there's a comic series where they interact with each other. That was my Destro's truck would be an Autobot, and they would kill him and stuff. And that was, and I would show my friends, and they're like, "You're crazy." And then once I hit high school, I started working on a book that eventually would become a book called The Shivered Sky, which is my first novel. But I've been writing my whole life. I went to school to be a writer. That's not what my degree's in, but I did for a while have majored in creative writing. So again, my first book came out in 2003. The first time I published a short story in a national magazine was in 1999. And then I didn't start writing Carl until the very, very end of 2019. So I've been doing this a long time.
Yeah. And what do you think? I mean, it's just a question of, I think a lot of people ask me about acting, and I'm a writer as well, and you really just have to do it, right? Isn't it just you gotta just do it?
That's the
plow
best way
through.
to do it. I think the worst thing that can happen to a writer personally is they make a hit right off their first bat because they're not cooked yet. And it doesn't, as a Judge Judy saying,
Is she dead?
No.
she's still alive. There's Judy Justice on Amazon.
Okay, I'm so sorry. I didn't know Jesus.
Your daughter is a girl.
She's gonna die.
Well, that's the cool thing about Lit RPG, good, bad, whatever. I love all Lit RPG, and I read some stuff stuff that's clear that no one has ever written before, right?
It's true.
But I will tell you, this is actually, you know, I wrote All the Guild, and I've written 2 books. If you would like to get one of them, I will sign a couple out there. But I you don't have to, but thank you. Yeah, that was good. Thank you for doing that. But what's funny is that I read all these series, and like sometimes the first half of the first novel is astonishingly bad. You know, it just doesn't go together. It's like very bumpy, and then something happens like 2/3 of the way to that first book, and it gets good. And then book 2 is even better, and then by book 3 you're like, this is amazing. So it's actually a faster curve than you'd think in my mind, you know, and it makes me want to get my pen working as well.
It's amazing. That's why, you know, fan fiction gets a lot of flack, but a lot of people write fan fiction and they publish it, and then people give them feedback on it, and it's a great way to hone your skills.
That's why this specific genre, because people use Royal Road to sort of try things out. It's like the perfect training ground to see, hey, am I on the track, you know?
Right, and the folks on Royal Road, which is a free web serial site, they're not kind to you if they don't like your book.
Should I stop DMing you the ebook typos?
My God, this is the guy I hate on the internet. Okay, next question. I'm just kidding. No, you don't get another
No,
question.
keep sending them to me.
You're very cute though. Next question. This guy right here, and then I'll go to the back, you guys. Okay. Hi.
Hi. I'm extremely nervous that your Excel sheet is not backed up.
Well, I don't have it on my current computer. I have it on like this other computer that I just keep in my shed out in the back of my house. So this is a true story. Way back, many years ago, my house got broken into, and my computer got stolen. And I had zip disks. This is how long ago it was. And the person stole the zip disks as well. And I lost an entire novel that I wrote.
Oh.
And
This is
yet
why
you're
I'm
doing
so-
this again?
No, so as I never said I didn't back it up. I back up everything in like 20 different ways.
Okay.
Except
Okay, thank you for reassuring us about that. Can you find somebody in the back, maybe? Way back there?
someone that looks cool.
Someone, you all are cool, okay? Everybody here is here because they're cool. Okay, oh, she found someone? Hi,
Hi.
how's it going?
Oh, great. I didn't expect to get the book this fast. I thought it was going to come to me. Anyway, I have maybe like 3 questions, but I'm going to make them short, but 2.
No, one is good.
Fuck. Okay, can I combine 2 into 1?
You can just
do it.
Just hold on.
Okay, what do you think about, have you played, and do you like Baldur's Gate 3? And then the second one is, have you read Infinite Jest by David Foster Wallace? Do you like that? And then also the other one
I don't understand anything this man's saying. You are drunk in a good way, but okay,
Oh,
something
no,
about
no.
Baldur's Gate 3,
I'm just
right?
nervous. Yeah, Baldur's Gate 3, I'll keep it at that.
Okay, let's just, what about
Ah,
it?
you could have asked 3 questions. That was the question. No. Baldur's Gate 3, I specifically have not played that game beyond. I grabbed it and I knew right away it was going to suck me in. I got all the way to the point where you get that wall where the Goblin Village. And I know some people that worked on that game, and I know how much people love that game. And I'm a big D&D nerd, and I just knew it was going to suck my life away. And as a result of that, I stopped playing it. If I did keep playing that game, you wouldn't even have this book 7.
No. Who would you have romanced, though? Did you see the romance options?
I don't know. I don't remember who.
You don't remember the vampire?
I remember the vampire guy.
Yeah.
And then I've seen like the videos with the bear online. You know.
Yeah. Listen, one day you'll be able to get in there, okay? And then you'll be inspired. You know, if you have a romance thing, you gotta have to do research. All right. So that Dragon Age, lots of people that enter in those games. Okay.
I've played Dragon Age.
Yeah, I played Dragon Age. Okay. Another question. We have I don't know. Maybe just pick some people. I can't see you. You're too far away. Well, not you.
Her. Right here. Right here. Right here.
Okay,
This one.
I don't know where she is with the mic.
Hello.
Hi.
What has been the biggest surprise in the way that you've been writing? What's been the biggest event or scene that's been the most surprising to you in the course of writing the book series?
Like, in terms of something that's happened in the book itself?
Yeah, that you might not have expected, or that you're like, oh, that's how this is happening now, I guess.
Yeah, that happens to me a lot. When I write, I said earlier that I like to write scenes over and over again, and that's true. And a lot of times I will make crazy things happen just to see how the other characters react. I like to see how characters react to certain scenes, and sometimes I end up keeping it. One such scene was in book 3 in the train with Hecla and some other characters. I wasn't expecting to keep that, and I decided to keep it because I thought it was pretty awesome. Something else in book 7, I couldn't think of the best way to do something I wanted to do. Don't worry, it's not going to spoil anything. I just thought, why don't I add this god named Midas? And then, that doesn't spoil anything. And then I just go with it, and after a certain point you've gone too far and you can't backtrack without something. And you're like, I guess we're doing this now.
There was somebody in the middle of the scroll right here. While we get there, is there a character that's super easy for you to write that's not Carl or Donut, where you really...
Samantha. She's my favorite to write. Her and Prepotente and Quasar.
Question.
Hi Matt. Hi Felicia. This is a question for the both of you.
Oh.
How many seagulls would you have to find in your house before you got suspicious that somebody was putting them there, and why?
So, I'm pretty sure you've asked me this question before. You keep coming to events and asking this question.
You being shocked by this woman? Did you being restraining order? Okay.
Since I live in the Pacific Northwest, the answer would be 4. Because there are seagulls all over my yard at all times.
Really?
Yeah.
Are you on the bay or something?
I'm pretty close to the water.
Okay. I'm not close to the water, so I would have a problem with 1. I'm so sorry. But sparrows, up to 7. Thank you for your question. Over here, we have somebody with 2 hands up. Oh, there we go. She's pleading.
Pleading.
See, this is how you get picked.
Yeah. Well, I'm so blurred. I honestly can't see past the front row. I'm so sorry. I'm so unprofessional. Hi.
Hi, I have, okay. What was the inspiration behind the AI's foot fetish?
Richie!
Are you going to have a Chris Pratt voice donut?
You slipped a second question in there that was repugnant. I'm not going to answer it. You can answer the first one about the foot.
So the Chris Pratt thing is a rumor.
Debunked.
That just got started just now. So the foot fetish thing, the honest answer is, because I thought it was funny, and there's this first scene very, very early in the first book when Carl's on the murder dozer, and the goblin had fallen down, and of course he's gonna jump on it. Carl's a big dude, and the goblin explodes. I think, like I said, like a condom full of beefaroni or something.
I'm very Florida.
And then I just wrote, biggest regret of my life. I gave the AI a foot fetish and thought he really enjoyed, using his feet to kill. And now you should see the DMs I get.
I mean, you could have an OnlyFans where you just describe things that the AI is watching with feet.
You don't think I don't?
All right. There is a wiki feed. Have you been on wiki feed? I'm on there. Check it out. Okay, other question. We're on this side. Can you go in the back on this side? geographically spread the love. Right there. We have someone pointing to someone else. That's nice. Okay.
Hi, Matt.
Hi.
I don't really have a question. I just want to say, hey, I think you're doing a great job in making the next generation like this our type of guys. So just continue doing what you're doing. This is awesome. But if I do have a question, it's probably going to be Felicia, if you want to do Samantha, do you mind reading your favorite passage of her right now for us?
But I love Samantha. I don't have a passage. I'm an actor. I need to be
Just tell me
provided
you're
with
going to
work.
kill his mother. Tell me you're going to kill my mother.
Wait, what?
I'll kill your
Tell me you're
mother.
going to kill my mother.
Okay. I'll kill your mother?
Yeah.
I don't think Samantha uses an inside voice ever, does she?
No.
No.
No. Hi.
Hi.
I'm like so shy. So I wanted to know, since we already established that you have a franchise now, and we have a webtoon and a lot of good stuff, would you choose an anime or an MMORPG next?
Wow.
Wow. So since the television series that we're working on hopefully will be live action, I would love to have an MMORPG, like a full-on balls to the wall AAA video game would be amazing. As of right now, that's not being actively worked on, but there has been, people have been interested in that sort of thing. I would love to see something like that. I'm a big Bethesda guy, so I I have more hours in Skyrim than I have pretty much any other game.
Have you played the Oblivion remastered?
I have. I actually don't like the controls as much, but I love, because I'm so used to this, I spend so much
Yeah, that makes sense.
But I do, I love the Oblivion.
So pretty.
Like an open world game like that, but where you still have to complete the quests and you have to do something before you get squished would be amazing. I would sell one of your children for that.
If anybody wants any, drop them off. We'll start a fund. What are you playing right now?
Oh man, so
And then we'll do another question, okay?
I was playing the Oblivion remake actually. I was playing Power World, that Pokemon ripoff.
Oh yeah.
I like that game because there's no real storyline to it. I don't get sucked in. as
Sheer
much.
animal slavery and murder.
I have been playing Cult of the Lamb quite a bit.
These are very on brand for you.
Yeah.
Next question. I don't want to make you run and run. Maybe right here, this person who's doing that, and then we'll go over here. I know I have
This person who's doing that.
All right, quick question, man. Are you able to visualize the Iron Tangle?
So I actually have a map of it I've made. That's an actual map, but I made it in with my HTV Vive, like the VR. I painted it in VR, and I don't. That actually is it's on a computer, but it all makes sense. It does. I swear.
I don't know what to tell you. That's a weird story.
That's right at the pandemic.
Oh, okay. Well,
July of 2020.
You don't have to say anymore. Pandemic, we don't. I did a ukulele cover of many things that I regret ever doing. Let's go. Can we go over here to the front row here, and then maybe circle back there for the last couple? Oh wait. Okay, we have only a couple questions left, you guys.
So make them good, or else Felicia will.
No, that's okay. No pressure. Just phone it in at this point. Maybe we go back to that guy with the 3 questions. We'll get into it.
Hello, I have a lot of love for this series. I finished it all in 2 months, I think. But I have my
That's a lot of pages, man. That's like when someone says, I saw Supernatural in 3 weeks. I'm like, that's medically impossible.
But I guess my question is, why live action and not something like animated? Because I feel like this story would be told much better, especially since it's so weird and wacky, animated.
Well, don't knock it until you've seen it. And the truth is, nothing is set in stone until it's done. And we have many, many examples of something that it doesn't stick the first time. We have other examples. And I suspect eventually before the heat death of the universe, we may get more than one ways to consume something.
Okay, maybe all the way back in that corner. I think this will be our last question, unless she runs really good.
Run!
And then there'll be a signing line. That'll be very exciting, you guys. All right.
Hi, my question is for Matt. You said you play D&D. I do too. I'm a wizard main, and Carl speaks to me on a prepper and hoarder level that only my characters can get to. So if you had to give Carl, Donut, and Mordecai classes that weren't super obvious, sorcerer, obviously, for Donut, what would you give them?
First off, you're wrong about Donut. She's a bard. Carl is like an artificer, barbarian, and Mordecai is, you know, an alchemist. Yeah. But
Katya, what would Katya be?
Katya, she's a shapeshifter. That's a good question.
That is a good question, because she plays tanky stuff. Like,
She does. She's pretty tanky. I mean, but I don't know. What do you think?
Yeah, what do you think?
Druid?
Druid? Okay.
I'd say changeling monk if I was
Changeling monk. Oh, that's pretty good.
Monk's good for Carl too.
Yeah, okay. Let's get that guy's third question, then we're gonna get out of here. Remember that guy? Yeah, that guy back there. Just talk in a normal tone of voice, though. I could not understand what you were saying. But we're gonna get that third question then, okay? I got you covered, Poo-Poo.
Well, after I know that you do like a lot of spreadsheets and stuff, like when you're really brainstorming and really going on it, do you do longhand at all, or is it all like typing? And also, what are you on when you
Build your mother.
If I had to write this book longhand, I wouldn't. Everything, I type very quickly, and I typed everything. And I didn't even hear what the second question was.
You don't get it. You don't get it. I will kill your mother. I'll find you later, okay? Hey, you guys, thank you so much for being here. Matt, thank you for your
Let's take a picture. Matt and Felicia!
We're gonna take a selfie.
And you guys couldn't see you, but that's us. Bye! That's great.
You're just gonna be